We are going to look at Ramogi Achieng Oneko. He was among the Kapenguria 7. This is his life history. He was born in Uyoma, in the area of Bondo, in 1920. One of his teachers at Maseno was Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Later on, after he completed school, he joined Adonija Abednego Oginga Odinga, or famously known as Jaramogi. They founded Luo Thrift Company in 1945. In 1947, Ramogi Achieng Oneko started a newspaper called Ramogi Press. He used this press to enlighten people who could read and write, people who were literate in the Luo language. He used to use the Ramogi Press to tell them. But he used to do it from his pocket. Then he had challenges, and then an idea came to him that he started having advertisement in his press. Later on, he joined Kenya African Union. When he joined Kenya African Union, in 1952, he was made the KHWATENGE Secretary General. And then when Kenya had the emergency in 1952, remember Kenyatta Day, nowadays called Mashujaa Day, he was arrested and was among the Kapenguria 6. He was taken to Kapenguria, where he was charged, among others, with being a member of Mau Mau. When he was charged with being a member of Mau Mau, he was convicted together with the others and jailed in Lokitang in Turkana. Together with the other 6, he was taken to Lokitang. When he was taken to Lokitang, he appealed against it. And when he appealed, in his appeal, he said that Mau Mau, in all their deliberations, they conduct their activities in Kikuyu language. How he can be a member of an organization where it targets people from a certain tribe that he is not among them, and they speak in a language that he does not understand, how can he be convicted for that? His appeal was heard, and on 15th January 1954, he was acquitted. The courts acquitted him, but those of you who were there during Moi's time, you find that you are acquitted by a court and then you are detained without trial. So he was detained. He was acquitted in 1954, 15th January, but immediately he was arrested there in Lokitang and taken to Manyani, where he was detained until he was released in 1961. 1961, he was released, and in the 1963 elections, he contested a seat in Kisumu, not Kisumu. He contested a seat in Nakuru. When he contested and won the seat in Nakuru, Remember, he had a background in journalism. He used to have a newspaper called RAMOGI Press. He was the Secretary General of Kenya African Union. So it was easy for Jomo Kenyatta to make him the Minister for Information. Then in 1966, when Jaramogi founded Kenya People's Union, Ramogi Achieng Oneko resigned both as an MP and as a minister and went and joined KPU. When people from KPU resigned, for people who are going to KPU resigned, there was something that they called little general elections. That is when, and if you have been watching my programs, you'll have noticed that I'm trying to explain how certain things were slipped into our constitution. Before KPU was formed, you were allowed, just like Kadu. You remember Kadu people just crossed the floor and left Martin Shikuku alone on the other side. So those days when you went to another party, it was just simple. You cross over and go to the other party. The constitution then said those MPs who were joining KPU had just to declare to the speaker that they are no longer KANU, they are now in KPU. But when they resigned, a draft came that in case you change your party loyalty, then you have to go for a by-election. This thing, as I said before, we started the system of 35 years to block Tom Mboya from contesting the presidency. Now, we also started the system that if you cross over the floor, you go back to your constituency for a by-election. It was brought out in 1966, targeting those people who were KANU members but were crossing over to be KPU people. Nimeona mtu amekimbia kwa till number. So that is how the law was changed, such that if you cross over and you start things that are related to a party other than the party that you used in election, it was started in 1966 to block the KPU people. And remember, Achieng Oneko was an MP for Nakuru, not Kisumu, not South Nyanza. So all KPU members who contested in Luo Nyanza, you know the outcome. But for people like Kagia, Bildad Kagia, he was the vice president of KPU. People like Achieng Oneko, they were contesting in areas that are not Luo Nyanza, so they lost that. He went into political cold room until when the multi-party came and the Bondo constituency had been split into two, and he went and contested in Rarieda in the Ford Kenya party. When he contested in Rarieda in Ford Kenya party, he won. Of course, the Ford Kenya leader was Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. That was 1992. Jaramogi died in 1994, I think in January. Then 1997, most of the Luo politics had shifted to a new party called NDP. But Ramogi Achieng Oneko remained in Ford Kenya, and that is why he lost in 1997. Keep on watching the Kenyan correct historical teacher. Thank you.